This video is sponsored by ALLPOWERS. I'm here with the ALLPOWERS R2500 portable power station solar generator. And I'm going to go through a series of tests with this and a brief overview of this particular machine. Plus, I'm going to be reviewing the 400-watt solar panel that they also sent me to test that connects directly to this. So stick around and I'll dive into all these details. I'll go through some various tests shortly, but first of all, I just want to give a brief overview of the machine itself and its capabilities. When it comes to power output, the AC inverter is rated at 2500 watts and is supposed to allow a surge wattage of up to 4000 for short periods of time, like say getting a device started. When it comes to storage capacity, it has a little bit over 2000 watt hours, so just a little bit over 2 kilowatts of storage capacity, so quite a bit of storage capacity. And the unit is pretty portable because it does have great handles built in here on the sides. So it's very easy to just stick your fingers in here and lift it. Now do note that this does weigh around 64 pounds. So it is a little bit heavy, but it's pretty easy to carry. When it comes to the battery technology, this is equipped with lithium iron phosphate batteries, so that's a huge plus. And ALLPOWERS says that it's rated up to 3,500 cycles. So the batteries in this unit should last a long time. And as you know, I'm a big fan of lithium iron phosphate batteries, especially in applications like this. With that being said, I want to now give a brief overview of the outlets and the inlets in this machine. Under each one of these port sections, you do have the ability to turn on and off those outlets. First of all, we'll start here with our regular AC outlets. These are rated between 100 and 120 volts, and I'll check voltage shortly when it's actually under a load. But you actually have 4 here. And it is kind of nice that it has these little rubber covers that go over it to keep dirt, moisture, etc. from getting in that. But 4 are nice, having 4 of those outlets. In the middle, we have our RV outlet. Note that it is rated at 20 amps. So it's a 100 to 120 volt RV outlet rated up to 20 amps. So you have that there. On this side, you have your USB-C and USB-A ports. So we have 4 USB-A ports and we have 2 USB-C ports. So you can see those there. On this side, we have our car 12 volt port, and then we have 2 DC 12 volt ports right there. So pretty simple there. Let's go ahead and flip around to the back and we'll talk about the input ports. Okay, here in the back, under this panel are the input ports. So you just press that, it's a press and release. And then in here, we have the place where we plug in our power cord if we want to charge it through a regular AC outlet. We have a reset button. We have a place to plug in the solar. And then we have these 2 ports here, which are made for expansion batteries. As I mentioned previously, this device here by itself has a little bit over 2 kilowatt hours of storage capacity. You can add extra batteries that connect to this through that rear port. Each one of those extra batteries has around 3 kilowatt hours of storage. So 6 of those plus the 2 here, once again, gets you to around 20 kilowatt hours of maximum storage if you connect that all together. Okay, now I want to do some testing, and I'm going to be using this kilowatt device, and we're going to make sure that it does actually have a pure sine wave when it comes to the AC output at 60 hertz. I also want to check voltage sag with this device as well, and probably also make sure that when I plug a device in that the wattage output on this screen matches the screen here. So let's do that real quick and let's see how this checks out. Okay, so first of all, I need to turn on the AC inverter. So we just hold that, that came on, light came on. And then I want to go ahead and plug this in. The plugs are upside down, so my screen's going to be upside down here, so I'll have to flip that so you can see it better in the video. But let's go ahead and plug a device in and let's see what we got. Okay, right now this says that it's running at 111.3 volts. And if we go here to the hertz, we see that it's running at 60.3 hertz. I'm going to connect this heater to it and see if the voltage sags at all. So let's go ahead and connect this heater like that. Put the plug up there so it doesn't get in our way. Make sure our screen's on. And let's power that up. and see if that voltage sags a little bit. So a little fluctuation in the voltage, but not too bad. Let me go ahead and turn that off and do that one more time. So when it comes on, it dropped down to 108.4, but then it immediately went back up to 110, 109.8, 110. So it is staying mostly above 110 with that running. Our output is getting close to 1400 watts, just surpassed 1400 watts. Let's see here. Okay, so we're seeing there 1377, 1381. It's close to that. And then when it comes to hertz, we're still at 60.3. It briefly went to 60.4, but hertz is within the norm there. So that seems to all check out. Seems to have a pure sine wave. It runs the heater just fine. But this unit is rated at 2500 watts of output, the inverter, and it should be able to surge up to 4000 watts for short periods of time. So let's go ahead and test that now by connecting another device. First of all, though, I will turn off the heater, unplug this, and plug directly into this with the heater and a little cooktop. Okay, so I'm going to start by turning on the cooktop to high. And with the cooktop on high, we're pulling over 900 watts. Let me go ahead and turn on the heater here to the max setting. Okay, so with the cooktop and the heater, we're pulling over 2300 watts. That's still under the 2500 watt that this is rated at. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the other side, the other cooktop side, and see if we can surge on past 2500 and see how long this will run over 2500. Okay, so it didn't last very long over 2500. Let me see if I can do a test here and get closer to that 2500 and see how long it can last. Okay, AC inverter's back on. I'm going to turn the heater on to its low setting. So the heater at its low setting is under 900 watts. Let me go ahead and turn on both sides of the cooktop and see what that gets us up to in combination. Okay, with all that on, we're pulling over 2300 watts. I'm going to connect one more device here, this air purifier. It doesn't use a lot of power, but I'm going to connect that and see if I can run that as well, just to get as close to 2500 as possible and let it sit there for a minute. So turn this on, got it on a low setting. Let's go up. Okay, so we're still not over 2400, so let me connect another air purifier here. We got that one going. Okay, so we have 4 different devices here. Let's just let that sit for a few minutes. It's not quite at the 2500 max, but this is a good output. We're running a heater, 2 air purifiers, and both sides of a cooktop, and we'll just see if this is going to be able to maintain that. Okay, so this doesn't seem to have any problems there running on all this, so that 2500 watt output number seems to be good. Now, one other test I did just previously was I wanted to see if this unit could power a 12-inch DeWalt miter saw. So I connected the DeWalt miter saw to this, and here's what happened. Okay, I have it connected here to a DeWalt 12-inch chop saw, and I want to see if it has enough power to power this. As you see, it starts it up, and then it turns off, and then I get an error code. Let's do that again, but I'll put the camera actually on the screen. So for some reason, it's not able to actually power the power saw. Okay, let's try this again. I changed the mode to fast mode. That's usually going to be a charging mode, but let me see if that actually affects this. You can see that it just beeps. It's not able to handle the power saw. So when it comes to using this for various devices, maybe on a campsite or at home, it seems to work well for that. But if you want to use this for power tools, it's not able to run a 12-inch DeWalt chop saw. I imagine it wouldn't be able to handle a table saw either. So it's not going to be a good device for the work site, but for home use and for camping, things like that, I think it's going to be a great unit because in general, it was able to output, once again, over 2,400 watts continuously without a problem. Now, as I transition to charging, you are able to both charge this device and use the AC inverter at the same time. So you can power a device and charge it. I'll show you quickly that, and then we'll talk about charging in general. So with this power station, ALLPOWERS included this handy zip-up case. In the case was the cord to connect solar panels and an AC cord to charge this with AC power. I'm going to go ahead and plug this into the back so we can start charging it, and then I'm going to show you that you can run a device on it while you're charging. Okay, so I just plugged that in here. Okay, right now I have it at a lower charge setting. I'm going to go ahead and go to the app here and move that to a faster charge setting. Okay, you can download an Android or Apple phone application and you can connect through Wi-Fi or through Bluetooth. Right now I'm going to connect through Bluetooth. So you make sure that your Bluetooth is on the device and on your phone. You connect there, it shows me that device is available. So I'm going to connect with it. It's showing that I have 70% of capacity remaining there. It's showing that we're charging at 552 watts. So I'm going to go ahead here and go to the charging modes, and let's go ahead and move that to fast mode. Go back, and we change that to fast charging mode. You can see that that goes up substantially. We're now pushing 1300, over 1300 watts, 1400 watts. This is supposed to be able to charge up to 1500 watts maximum. So at a little bit over a 70% state of charge, we're at a high charge rate. Earlier I tested this device when it was over an 80% state of charge, and in fast mode it was able to charge up to 759 watts, but once again that was when it was closer to 100%, over 80% charge. So the charge curve does taper off at the end to protect the device. But here at a little bit over a 70% state of charge, it's still able to charge at over 1400 watts when connected to a regular AC outlet. So that's pretty solid. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and plug this device in and show you that you can both charge and run an AC device at the same time. So we'll turn on this air purifier. We'll do it on a low setting so it doesn't make too much noise here. This doesn't take a lot, but once again, I'm able to run a device with the AC inverter while I'm charging there. With that being said, this portable power station is also a solar generator, and ALLPOWERS did send me a 400 watt solar panel that they sell that you can connect to this. So I'm going to switch over now to footage of me reviewing that product. Okay, I have here the 400 watt ALLPOWERS solar panel. I love that this particular panel is one piece and it is 400 watts. So you don't have to have two separate ones that you connect together, like two 200 watt solar panels. I like that. I also like the way this folds up into, basically it folds up into itself into like a carrying case. So you basically have here this handle built in, so it's easy to carry around. And then on the flip side, it has a great little area here for storage. So it came with various cords to connect the solar to your system, and then in here is where the cords are to connect the solar panel with your extension cord. So really handy setup here. Let's go ahead and open this up, and then I will test it, connecting it to the R2500 solar generator right here. So let's see if we can get somewhere near 400 watts out of this today. Okay, so first of all, I just need to go ahead and unclip these two pieces here. And it does have these kickstands right here, which will be handy for getting the right angle. And this is a pretty big setup. So let me go ahead and get this all set up, and then I'll check back in. Let me get this set up at the right angle for you. Okay, I have this all set up at an angle that I believe is going to be pretty good for the angle of the sun. When this is all spread out like this, it's over 8 feet long and it's over 3 feet tall. So it's a decent size, but once again, it does fold up very nicely and has that handle built in. So it's not that difficult to move around, but it is pretty large once you get set it up. It does have nice kickstands on the back, which allow you to adjust the angle here. I'm gonna go ahead and connect this to the power station and see what kind of wattage we're getting off of this. Okay, so the power station came with this cord here. This is going to plug into the back of the unit, and then this is going to plug into the solar panel itself. You can use the one that came with it, one of the ones that came with it, but I'm just going to use this since it's already out. So let's go ahead and open this up, and then we'll connect this to the back of the unit. Okay, so I'm just going to pop open this here. We have the place where I can plug in the solar right there, and then I just need to connect this to the solar panel itself. Okay, so this is simple enough. I'm just going to snap that in right there. Going to snap that in right there. So we are now connected. I just heard this kick on. So let's see what we're pulling right now when it comes to wattage and solar charging. Okay, so right now it's showing it's charging at 153 watts. Let me go ahead and play around with the angle a little bit and see if I can get that up higher. Okay, so I'm not getting anywhere near 400 watts right now, but that's not the fault of the solar panels itself. It just comes down to fine-tuning the angle of the solar panels to the sun, the time of the year, the time of day, etc. But as you can see, it was really easy to set up, and it's really nicely designed so that it folds up into itself and has the handle really quick to connect it here, and it comes with a pouch where you can store all your different pieces. So a great setup here, and it connects well and it pairs well with this R2500 ALLPOWERS solar generator. Okay, really to wrap all this up, the overall build quality of this ALLPOWERS R2500 is good. Decently easy to carry, even though it does weigh over 60 pounds because of the handles that are built in here. It's able to run devices, once again, as I showed, over 2400 watts continuously. However, once again, I wasn't able to run a DeWalt power saw, so for the job site, this may not be the power station for you. If you like what you see, ALLPOWERS is offering a special discount for my audience, and I will put details for that in the video description down below with a link as well. So make sure that you check that out. And overall, this is a great unit, and it's definitely worth you considering. Well, thank you so much for watching this video all the way through to the end. I'd like to say once again, thank you to ALLPOWERS for sponsoring this video and for sending me this portable power station and the solar panels to be able to test them. So thank you to ALLPOWERS for that. And also, I want to say thank you to all of those of you who support me through Patreon. Your support makes a big difference and does help make videos possible on this channel. If you'd like to find out more about how you can support my work through Patreon, I will put a link in the video description. Thank you so much.